has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
You're going to want to get the SportsGrid app on iOS or Android. It's unbelievable. It's free. You can watch the network on there. It's got the TV side. You can listen to the network. It's got the radio side on the app. Follow your favorite hosts like Carver High. And they got in-game odds, stories, videos, highlights. Everything is on the SportsGrid app. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Did you know we're streaming on X? Always, including right now. At SportsGrid-Live on X. Go check it out. What are you waiting for? And it's every day, 7 days a week, constant. It's just badass. You can get the Ferrall Coast to Coast and Ferrall on a Bench podcasts on Apple and iTunes and wherever you get your podcasts every day, Monday through Friday, both shows. Let's take a look at the lineup tonight on SportsGrid TV and SportsGrid Radio. First on the TV side at 6 Eastern, it's Front Office Sports today at 6:30 GTD with the mayor of Miami, Joe Ranieri, today. And then after that at 8, it's the original OG in-game live with Scott Wetzel and Dave Sharapan. At 10, it's Sports Rage with Morency. On SportsGrid Radio at 8 to 10, it's the Institution, Carver and Lisi tonight. Get it all with SportsGrid TV and SportsGrid Radio. No need to go anywhere else and waste your time. All right, let's hear from Kenny Atkinson as we kick off the second hour here on C2C on a midweek Wednesday.
Yeah, let's start, Kenny, first of all, with the end of the Cavs season. Great regular season, once again fall short in the postseason. What needs to change?
The mental part, that we got to get over that. I just felt like we got another jump to make with kind of our mental strength. But I love our togetherness. I love our leadership. I love our maturity. All that. So those would be the two areas. Like if you kind of right off the bat, I think we got to get better.
Mental.
Fair enough.
It's all mental sometimes. It's all mental, up in the head. And that's kind of what it's been with the Cavs, honestly, the last couple of years. But they got worked in this series. I mean, I know that you had injuries, but they got worked.
You can't have Strus show up and miss every single shot he takes. It was a John Starks performance.
That's not ideal when that happens either. You can't have that go on from one guy who makes a lot of shots for you. Now, here's Kenny talking about the Pacers and what kind of problem they're going to be for either the Knicks or the Celtics in the next round.
I mean, they beat the Knicks last year the same way. They wore them down. I think that did the Knicks get injured? I think there were a few. It's just mad respect. It's like a college team, and I say that in a really good way. Like they press for 48 minutes and they run faster than anybody in the league. We have the data. I wish I had a graph, right? You got the league. We're kind of up there and probably 60, and they're up here. And I think, to their credit, I think they've recruited to that type of that's their style of play. They've surrounded their best player with that.
Listen, I don't know how many times I can say this. They are so dangerous. They, like I said earlier, they got two for every job. And both guys are as good as the other. Like there's no drop off at all between their rotations. They just have a great way of playing basketball, and they just keep coming at you, and they just keep hitting shots. And then when they miss, how many times do you see them get a second chance, put back, and put it in? Like they get rebounds, and they run, and they transition. They play defense. They get steals. They block shots. They give the other team limited chances. They grab all the rips off the glass. They do everything right, and they got a great coach. I mean, what more do you need to know? They're loaded. That's it. No one wants to believe that some team from Indianapolis can win the NBA championship. They just can't have it. They just don't. Like, the networks don't even want to see it. The television networks don't want them on there because no one cares about the Pacers. No one ever has. I'm telling you, they are a massive problem. And this guy just said it all right there. He just said it. He's like, you don't want to play them. I mean, they just grind you down and beat you. And he said the same thing because the Cavs had 3 guys injured. It cost them the series. The Knicks had 2 guys injured last year, banged up in that series. They get their ass beat.
Yeah, I remember the Knicks won the first 2 games of that series last year. They had a 2-0 lead
and got
on the Pacers.
Slaughtered.
And then got smoked in the next 5, 4 out of the next 5, including a Game 7 in MSG as well. And then they did lose Anunoby and Brunson, I guess, in that series. They lost both of those guys at some point. But still, we're not there yet. Knicks still have to get one more win, Scotty. And maybe that will be tonight in Boston. Game 5, Knicks and the Celtics. Of course, no Tatum for Boston. We know that now. But they are still 4.5-point favorites at home tonight to force a 6th game in New York. 207.5 is the total.
Oh man, I just can't, as you know, I just cannot bet on the Boston Celtics. I won't do it. I will not watch a game and root for them to cover a bet. It's against my religion. And I've done it in every single game in this series, right? The same thing. Give me the Knicks. Give me the Knicks and the points. I'll see you tonight. Like, I'm not doing it. I hate them. I'll never bet on them. And, it's like you and the Bills. You don't bet on the games. I don't bet on Boston because I hate them. I just won't bet on them. Now, I know everyone and their brother thinks they're going to win tonight. Everyone and their brother has this thing's going back to New York. And then, I'd say 60% of the people think it's going back to Boston for 7 and that they're in this, completely in it. And then I feel like the Pacers. I feel like the Knicks can do this and finish them off. And they're going to finish them off either tonight or whatever it is, Friday night. They're going to finish them off one way or the other. You're going to see. And then they're going to get beat because they can't beat the Pacers either.
Yeah, I'm one of those, I guess, who thinks that I think Boston will get a win here tonight. I don't think that this is going to be as easy. So I think that you'll get another game on Friday night at MSG. I'll lay it with the 4.5, and we'll see if we get a little inspired effort from Boston in this game. The second game will
take advantage of this guy being out. Okay,
have to.
Now, if they're going to let this little dude go off for 30 points, Pritchard, they're going to lose. If they're going to let White and Brown go off for 30, they're going to lose. What they need to do is they need to handle their business, I think, with Brown and with White, and then go ahead and let little man do whatever he wants. And you know who hasn't done anything in this series? And they need to keep it that way because he's a gigantic P to begin with, is the Zinger. Now, I love the Zinger, but he don't want no part of Mitchell Robinson. He don't want no part of Anunoby. He don't want no part of the big bodega. I mean, this guy's so far away from the paint. I mean, he might as well be in Greenland. He don't want no part of people banging. He's a toothpick. So send him across the river and make him go get the sandwiches and beer and bring it back because, he don't want to bang with the big boys.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play, and players win.
Vegas knows how to show love to our everyday heroes. So if you're a first responder, you are in for some perks. Lots of hotels and casino offer big discounts to any first responders who can show valid work or volunteer ID. So treat yourself to a discounted stay. You deserve it. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star three trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Under him was Sharon Moore, who also participated in the cheating scandal with Connor Stallions. So you know what happens to him? He doesn't lose his job. He doesn't get a 10-year show cause. He gets to keep his job, and they go, we're just going to suspend you for 2 games next season.
Now, all of a sudden, they're coming out with everything that we knew to be pretty much true when it was happening. Yeah, they were cheating. It was like Belichick and the videotapes, right?
The early line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
And we are back, Ferrall, coast to coast here on a Wednesday. That's right, a Golf Wednesday on C2C, and a big one, supersized Golf Wednesday, because it is a major week. The PGA Championship at Quail Hollow gets underway tomorrow morning. You know what that means. The Prime Minister, Cam Stewart, is back on Golf Wednesday, fresh off of a live hit with Ryan Crazy Like a Fox down at Myrtle Beach. So he's got himself a little bit of gas in the tank to get going at Quail Hollow here. Okay, hi, Cam. How are you?
Love you, Carver. You're my guy. I'll tell you something. Ryan Fox is one of the only people who plays golf that has never let me down. From you and the family in the church to me in a hospital or whatever. I love Ryan Fox. And when he chipped in, I'm like, okay, should I hedge you? Guy chips in. I'm like, thank you. You just saved me even more money. I love Ryan like a Fox, but Carver, this course this week, wet. The best is like, I had a first round leader bet, and let's just save it for this. Our boy, the other Stewart, Keith Stewart, said, is he hitting it from the ladies' tees? We'll talk about it. You need length tonight. Like, honestly, you got to hit this ball because this course is soaked.
It's soaked, and it's long, and we know this even from – and what do you think of this, Cam? Because we got maybe 4 minutes of extra time today.
Yeah.
Do you like that they play – because I've seen people bellyache about this week. Do you like that they are playing a major at a place that they play at every single year with Quail Hollow? Do you like that they're playing a major here?
Carver, let's be honest, and me and you, I wish we were on the committee because, first of all, we'd have more fun and they need to listen to us. The PGA Championship has always been the worst major. It's no denying it. Like, let's put another, like a big tournament and put it in there, but it is what it is. Quail Hollow is a beautiful track, but the thing I just got a problem with it. It's like, I don't want to hear belly aching, whatever. It's another tournament. It doesn't feel like, when I look at golf, Carver, and you're smart, like I look at Masters, the European Championships, the Ryder Cup, all the other stuff. To me, this is like a regular tournament, but they call it a major. I think it needs to be better.
Yeah, I think that it needs to be a little bit better, too. As far as the top of the board here goes, you know who's going to be there. It's Scheffler, who's coming off. He did not play last week, so the last time we saw him, he destroyed everybody at the Byron Nelson. Rory, as we know, is excellent at Quail Hollow, and he's already won the Masters, the Players, etc. this year. You've got Bryson, you've got Rahm, Xander Schauffele, which I think, and I'll say this because he's on my card, disrespectful, the defending champ. I know how he's played this year, but for him to be down to 22-1 is kind of ridiculous. JT, Ludwig Aubert, etc., etc. Let's get right into it, Cam, and I will start with my outrights. I know the entire world is on this guy this week. I completely understand it. Now, I think that I'm glad I got 10 late Sunday night because now I see like 7. We have a rule around here, Cam. We usually don't like playing anyone under 10. So, I mean, I don't know if I'd take Bryson now at 7, but I got him at 10, so he's on my card. I have Bryson DeChambeau. This is a perfect course setup for him. Everyone's going to be on him. This would be a huge public win if it ever happens on Sunday at Quail. Justin Thomas has been playing excellent. Where did he win the PGA champ? One of his 2 PGA championships, Cam? Right here at Quail Hollow, 22-1 for JT. Next, I said disrespectful. He's the defending PGA champ. Xander Schauffele at 22-1, and he's played well at Quail in the past. Nobody's talking about Hideki Matsuyama this week.
Great call,
Cam.
Carver. What a call.
I never like betting this guy because he always lets you down. He grabs his back on Friday afternoon. You know what? 50-1 for a guy who you know always lurks around, and then all of a sudden you're sitting there on Sunday at 3:45 and you go, Hideki's in the third to last pair and he's 4 shots back. Like what? You just know he's always lurking. So I'm going to go with Matsuyama. Jordan Spieth looking for history, just like Rory did a month ago. 60-1, and his game is finally there. And you know I love Patrick Reed. I love what he did for me at the Masters. He's got good history at Quail Hollow when he was on the PGA Tour. 90-1 for Patrick Reed, who's playing good golf right now. That'll be my long bomb.
I love you, Carver. You know the thing about Matsuyama is people need to realize when they had a rain delay at the Masters and he was down, he went birdie, 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 and won the Masters because he's one of the best ball strikers. So I might have to add him to my card, but guys, I'm telling you, me and Carver are reading each other's mail this week. You have to hit the ball off the tee. I got DeChambeau. Mayo told me 16. I'm like, that sounds made up. I got 12 on a boost. Justin Thomas, we're reading each other's mail. 22-1. This guy is trending in the right direction. Here's the deal, Carver. You're going to give me Hatton at 45-1. Have you watched this guy in the Live Tour?
Yeah.
T5. Just like your Matsuyama bet. Hovland, total disrespect. He's hot and cold. I'm getting 60-1. I'll bet on it. And I got mocked all week for this Homa pick. And I'm going to tell you something. This guy is figuring it out. I'm not going to say he's going to win. I prefer him top 20, 30, 40. You want to give me Max Homa at her 25-1? Like, are these people insane, Carver? $20 gets me like 2,600. I'm in.
Look, here it is. I'll just go to my placements, Cam. Look who's on the bottom of my placement board. Top 20, Max Homa plus 450. He loves his track. I've been chasing him a little bit this year. I think we're finally starting to see some good signs. So Homa's on my card. Rory top 5 at plus 120. You can't play him to win. I'll play him here. Ludwig top 10 at plus 250. I'm doubling up Patrick Reed. I'll play him for a 10 as well at plus 600. Now, this Joaquin Niemann is the wild card of the week, Cam. He has been dominating on Live for the last year and a half. He never shows up at these majors that he's been invited to. Now he's invited again. They say that this is the best, the PGA would be the best one for him with his style of game. Well, let's see it. I'll nibble top 20 at plus 135. And Wyndham Clark, big hitter, usually big hitters. We've seen Wyndham Clark in big events before. I'm just going to go 20 with him, Cam, at plus 300.
I got to tell you, look at your bets. You're getting guys in top 20 to plus money that are like actually one of the best players in the world. That's the beautiful thing about having Rory and Scheffler there. We got more picks, Carver. We're going to blow each other's mind. I can't wait.
Hold yours off. And when we come back, Cam, we will get Cam's placements because we're doing a double with Cam today because it's a major week. And then we've got the first round leaders and even some props. And I think there's a lot of reading the same mail on the props as well this week. There seemed to be, and me and Cam did not confer with each other.
We didn't?
Before we send these in. We both can't send them to each other at the same time. Golf Wednesday, Coast to Coast, PGA Championship with Cam. We're back after this. Jason Tatum underwent surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. That is obviously a season-ending injury, and that's long rehab. You're talking
That's a year.
That's a year.
I don't wish that on anybody. I don't. I hate that Achilles, knees and ankles. I don't like talking about them. I've said it a million times, but screw the Celtics.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never
They
does.
played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn
they've ever
Ewers.
got to Texas.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian
Why
made
would it be
very
Quinn
clear
Ewers'
the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong.
It is incorrect. I just told you he's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing
him
your
because
thing now
I
where you
expect him to
double
have a
down on a
decent
tape
season. No, I'm
that
not
is
doing
incorrect
that. The
when I
best
show it's
quarterback
incorrect.
prospect to ever hit college football can't play
He's
over
not,
a 7th-round
there
pick
were two
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback
Stop
recruits
it.
in the history
Stop
of the
it.
sport.
Quinn
Vince
Ewers couldn't
Young
even play at
and
Ohio
Quinn
State.
Ewers.
He couldn't even play at
Vince
Ohio
Young
State.
and Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
And we are back. Ferrall Coast to Coast here on a Wednesday. It's a golf Wednesday, PGA Championship, a major week. That means a little extra time with the Prime Minister, Cam Stewart. All right, Cam, we left off. I gave my placements. Now it's time to hear yours, your top 5s, 10s, 20s, 40s, etc.
Did I give you my winners? I'm not even sure. I think we're on the same stuff.
You gave
right?
us the winners. You gave us the winners.
Okay, here's the deal. Rory McIlroy hits it a mile, whatever. You get plus 110 for a top 5. Joaquin Niemann, all these golf hipsters love him this week. I don't mind a top 20 at plus 130. I'm hitting the top 40 market hard. And you guys got to listen to Carver. Max Homa, this guy is getting plus money for a top 40. Basically make the cut. Højgaard, Rasmus, this guy is playing great golf, and this is a perfect course for him, plus 140. Hey, Carver, what's up? I saw you at that keg party. I'm the dean. I don't want to expel you, but you know what? At plus 160, you stay in school. Steven Yeager, top 40, plus 160. These markets this week, I'm telling you, Carver, and tell the people, like these top 30 and 40 markets are unreal. We're getting great golfers at crazy plus money.
You really are, Cam, and I love it. And I love the Dean too. And I'm finding some ways to maybe add the Dean to my card. I do have one that I'm going to show you in a moment. But let's go first round leader hunting first, because me and you love first round leader. How about the run that Killer Keith, Kashmir Keith, has been on? This Keith Mitchell with these first round leaders. It's been absolutely ridiculous. Like, he can't do it every week, Cam, but I feel like I have to at least put him on the card. So he's 60-1 for Keith Mitchell. Now, I'm going with the same strategy I used, Cam, with Scheffler a couple of weeks ago with the Byron Nelson. I'm not playing Rory to win, but maybe he'll start fast if he's going to win. So 14-1 for him for first round leader. Bryson as well. JT at 33-1. Mr. Burns, Sammy Burns at 75-1. You know who else loves Quail Hollow, Cam? Ricky Fowler loves loves Quail Hollow at 90-1 to start. And how about we take a little afternoon nap? Jake Knapp is a bomber, 110-1. Maybe he could start fast on Thursday.
Trust me, I need an afternoon nap. I've done 4 shows. They called me at Sportsnet Calgary at 6:30 a.m. Thanks, guys. Anyway, I work nights. First round leader. Let's do it with Bryson DeChambeau at 20-1. I love you, Carver. He's the guy. He can come out of the gate hot. I sent this to Keith Stewart, and he's like, is Morikawa hitting it for like 36-1? I'm like, but Keith, can't he be a first-round leader? The way this course is soaked, he needs to hit his irons. Ashke Batea, Carver knows this as well. This guy is always around the top in the first round. You know what? My best friend, and like, I love this guy, like Carver and Ciano. Foursome at the bar, me, you, Ciano, and Ryan Fox. Let's roll 120-1. I got Jaeger bombs, and I got Cameron Young at 120-1 first round. He'll fade, but I like
that. How about that? Cam with a couple bombs there. Jaeger bombs and Cameron Forever Young. We haven't had a Cameron Forever Young sighting on Golf Wednesday in a while. He's been in the witness protection program, Cameron Forever Young, lately. All right, bonus props because it's a major. Here's a few that I have, and I'm not going to lie. I'm digging for more between now and tomorrow morning.
Me too.
The Dean. Here's the Dean. I do have him on the card. Top South African at plus 220. I've got Taylor Pendrith as the top Canadian at plus 320. And Tyrrell Hatton, top Englishman, at plus 300, Cam. 3 props for me.
Carver, we're like that movie, like Step Brothers. Like, we should be there because we got the same stuff. Let's roll. Props. Top
look at
limb
this.
player.
Look at this.
top limb player. Bryson DeChambeau, plus 210. The Dean. You know what? Keg parties every day, Dean. Plus 220. Tyrrell Hatton, top Englishman. I got a great price at plus 325. You're going to like this. Near guard. 2 Hoy guards. A near guard Peterson. I want R Norgard, meaning Rasmus. And know what I added, Carver? You're going to love this better than anybody. Table for 1, Dick Land, top senior, plus 170 to beat Phil and Patrick Harrington.
Whoa, I like that. I got to look for a book in New York that has that. I will play that. If I checked a few.
He's on fire.
And I haven't seen him. He's a hell of a player. Your boy Bland. So I'm going to try to get that in. Cam, let's have ourselves a really big week at Quail Hollow. I feel like this is going to be, we've had some great finishes to these majors the last few times out. I think we'll get another one this week. And let's just hope it's the right one. Maybe Justin Thomas, it looks like, would be the best
one. We're going to do it, Carver. We're going to win tons, and I'm going to come visit you, and we're going to party. Let's roll.
There he is. Cam Stewart, the Prime Minister. We're back coast to coast, the Golf Wednesday, right after this. Jason Tatum underwent surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. That is obviously a season-ending injury, and you know that's long rehab. You're talking
That's a year.
That's a year.
I don't wish that on anybody. I don't. I hate that Achilles, knees and ankles. I don't like talking about them. I've said it a million times, but screw the Celtics.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never does.
They played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
Ever got to Texas.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian made very clear the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong. It is incorrect.
He's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing
him
your thing now
I
where you double down on a take
I'm not doing that. The best quarterback prospect to ever hit college football can't play
He's
over
not
a 7th-round pick
There were 2
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback recruits in the history of the sport.
Quinn Ewers couldn't even play at Ohio State. He couldn't even play at Ohio State.
Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decision that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I Promise you. Then Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, we're back on Coast to Coast, and Lindsay Castanelli, what a great name. I got to start with this. She's from Univision. She's been there over 16 years. She's a rock star on TV, and she's done TV everywhere. Los Angeles, New York, ESPN. She's done boxing, and she has literally stolen my heart already because of two reasons. One, she went to Miami. So I'm a Caniac. I'm a Cane fan. I've been friends with the Canes for over 50 years. I had a place down there in Miami, and I have literally watched them win 5 national championships. I wear all their clothes everywhere I go. People want to punch me in the face. And then I lived in Huntington Beach. There's the U. I love you. Already I love you. And then I lived in Huntington Beach, and you went to Cal State Long Beach, and I used to be able to look out my window because I lived on the PCH right on in the Huntington Harbor, and I used to look up this, like, right up the coast to Long Beach, and I could see Long Beach from my front of my house. And you finished your education there, so like you're really smart. You go to Miami, you go to Cal State Long Beach, beautiful weather. I mean, look at you.
You see, I picked the right places already. And you see, I've been in many places, but I haven't been in your show, so I'm so happy to join you today. Yes, I got my communication degree in Long Beach, and I got my master's in my business master's in UM. Recently, I just graduated. I don't know how I did it because it was very difficult. Coming from the communication part and doing a master's in business was a completely different ball game. But finally, I got the degree, so we got a lot to share, and I'm so happy to be in your show.
Hey, so let's talk about a lot of your, because you've interviewed through your career some of the great people, and I'm friends with a lot of them. And I've interviewed pretty much everyone that you've interviewed, and I became friends with a lot of them. I'm going to start with Miggy. So Miggy and I, in 2003, Miggy was a young player with the Marlins, and they went and won the World Series and beat the Yankees in Game 6 in the Bronx. And I was there for every single game. And I covered the Marlins back then because I was working at QAM in Miami. And I loved Miggy from the beginning of his career. How did you like interviewing Miguel Cabrera?
Well, I have to say that Miguel Cabrera was a big part of my career at the beginning because I got to meet him when I was covering the Yankees. He was playing for the Tigers at the moment. And I came up to him and say, "Hey, would you give me an interview?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Really? Why not? You know, I need to interview him." And he's like, "No, I don't want to talk." I'm like, "Well, but you know, I'm from Venezuela like you are." And he's like, "Well, I don't want to talk today, but I'll talk to you tomorrow." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll come back tomorrow and we're going to talk." Actually, you know what? No, we're not going to do it here. I'm going to take you to eat arepas. You know, arepas is the Venezuelan food. And that's exactly what I did. I came back the next day and I say, "Well, Miguel, I'm here. Let's go eat arepas after the game." And he went with me and we did a great interview. And that was all before the Triple Crown. That year, he won the Triple Crown. And of course, I said, "I was your lucky charm. So you had to give me the first interview." And I came back to Detroit at the moment. I went back to Detroit after he won the Triple Crown. And he gave me one of the best interviews of my career so far because I was able to get him in his house with his family, with his mom, his kids, his wife. And it was a very personal interview in one of the best moments of sports. And that happened the first year that I was working with the network. So can you imagine where that interview took me? So it was really, really important for me. And still one of my friends, Miguel Cabrera.
Of course. I mean, that you skyrocketed from there. The other two that stood out to me are my friends, because I've covered boxing for 35 years. I have done every major championship prize fight over the last 35 years that you can name. And I'm good friends with Canelo and with Floyd. I don't go around bragging about Floyd, but I am buddies with Floyd. Floyd's done the show a million times over the years. He's quite a character. But I really got a kick out of Canelo Alvarez. For as enormous as he is in Mexico and all over the world and in the States, and how gigantic he is as a fighter and his illustrious career, he's really a cool guy and down to earth and fun to be around. It really blew my mind because most of them can be kind of standoffish and think they're, Shaq doesn't stink.
Totally agree. And one more thing about Canelo, he's a very loyal person. And you can see that with his team, the people that surround him, all his career. But I tell you also what happened with Canelo and how I got closer to him through the years, right? During the pandemic, I just reached out to him through Instagram. And I was like, I need to interview somebody for Contacto Deportivo. Why not Canelo? And I just, sent him a message through Instagram. He replied to me, say, yes, of course, Lindsay. I'm like, I thought that you were not going to reply at all because, I didn't went through the normal or the formal ways of going through PR and all that. And he's like, no, the worst thing that you can do, Lindsay, is don't ask. You need to ask, and he teach me a lesson. He taught me a lesson at the moment because sometimes we're so afraid to ask because we think the answer is no, and maybe the answer could be no now and yes tomorrow, like in it was with Miguel Cabrera, but with Saul it was great, and from that day on we kept like a really good relationship, a working relationship. I respect him a lot. He also respects me. He knows me since I started, so we kind of know each other, and we always had that kind of relationship where I could go further than just talking about boxing. No, I asked him about his family and how he thinks,
Right.
and I have learned a lot about him, and he has such a strong mindset. It's unbelievable. It's one of the athletes, him, Kobe, because I also had the opportunity to interview Kobe several times, cover Kobe Bryant for a whole year, and Derek Jeter, I could tell you, are the three athletes. I think they have a set of mind that are completely different off the charts.
So let's talk about the World Cup coming to North America, and then I want to get your thoughts on that, how exciting that is, and who do you like in the Champions League final with PSG and Inter on the 31st in Germany?
Forza Inter! Of course! Casinelli, ¿dónde crees que lo agarré? ¿Dónde crees que lo agarré? ¿Dónde? El italiano tiene que salir. We also are friends with Pupi Zanetti, and we're so happy for the Inter. I think they did a great job stopping Barcelona. Barcelona was a great favorite to get to the final. They're playing beautiful, wonderful football, I should say.
I thought it was incredible. Barcelona kept coming in waves. But I was rooting for Inter. My buddy went to Madrid and saw him play this year with his wife. He said it was an experience of a lifetime. So I'm pulling for Inter. Who do you think wins, Inter or PSG? And who do you like in the World Cup? And how do you think it's going to go over in North America?
It's 50-50 Inter PSG, but I'm rooting for Inter as you know. But Club World Cup, it will be a great event. It will be the best of every continent. The different clubs are going to be here. The stars are going to be here. I can't wait to see Mbappe, one of the biggest stars in soccer right now. And I will say Real Madrid had to take this. Xabi Alonso will be the manager, hopefully at the moment when they play the Club World Cup. And I think it will be great just to warm up for what's coming next year, which is the real World Cup, the national team's World Cup, and it will be here in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. So soccer, it's taking over, my friend. Football is taking over.
And you'll be covering the World Cup, right?
I really hope so. It will be my fourth one. Yeah, I went to Brazil, to Russia, and to Qatar. So
Jason Tatum underwent surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. That is obviously a season-ending injury, and that's long rehab. You're talking
That's a year.
That's a year.
I don't wish that on anybody. I don't. I hate that Achilles, knees and ankles. I don't like talking about them. I've said it a million times, but screw the Celtics.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never
They
does.
played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn
they've ever
Ewers.
got to Texas.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian
Why
made
would it be
very
Quinn
clear
Ewers'
the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong.
I
It is
just told you
incorrect.
he's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing
him
your
because
thing now
I
where you
expect him to
double
have a
down on a
decent
tape
No, I'm
that
not
is
doing that.
incorrect
The
when I
best
show it's
quarterback
incorrect.
prospect to ever hit college football can't play
He's
over a
not, though.
7th-round
There were
pick
two
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback
Stop
recruits
it.
in the history
Stop
of the
it.
sport.
Quinn
Vince
Ewers couldn't
Young
even play at
and
Ohio
Quinn
State.
Ewers.
He couldn't even play at
Vince
Ohio
Young
State.
and Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
Love that Lindsay Casanelli. Very impressive, her career, and it was fun having her on Coast to Coast. Now we dive back into that nightcap game tonight at the Target in Minneapolis, unless I'm mistaken, right? We got the Dubs on the brink, Mike.
We do have the Dubs on the brink. Here's the second game of our NBA doubleheader this evening. Of course, after the Knicks and the Celtics, the Timberwolves will try to finish off the Warriors. Some big lumber here. 10.5 for the T-Wolves. 203.5 the total.
Yeah, I got to tell you, there's too much meat on that bone to tell me they're going to just whack them tonight. I really don't see it. I think, I think the Timberwolves are going to finish them off. I do. Do you really think there's going to be a blowout here tonight? Like, I've always thought the hardest game is that, fourth win, and teams that are against it, that are desperate, that are trying to stay alive, Saturday Night Fever style, I think they're going to throw the kitchen sink at them. There's no way I think Butler and Hield play that badly. Again, they kind of, for me, like Hield to me is every other game, right? So I think he's due, and I think Butler has to be better. He said he was sick. So what's he going to say tonight? He's sick again? He's got another illness? I doubt it. I think he's going to ball out. I think the T-Wolves win, but they don't cover that fat number. Now, did I say the same thing last night? I had the Thunder to win and Denver to cover the 10 spot. It's too many points, if you ask me, in a closeout game.
Way too many points. I'll take the 10.5. I don't think they win, but I think that they're going to be in the game. I mean, they're going to get completely blown out. I don't know. I mean,
I think
maybe,
it's a 7
but
to 10 point game.
I'll take a shot. I'll go with the Warriors tonight with the Sticks and see if they can make it happen.
Maybe
so
we'll
there you
cover
go. That's
by
your
a
NBA.
hook.
It's possible. We could be right there. Could be right in the mix for it. All right. How about the baseball now? A few things from last night, and then we have a lot of games tonight to get through. By the way, Arizona up 6-2 on the Giants as they got a 3-run homer from Eugenio Suarez. They had a leadoff home. They had a homer in the first from yes, they had a homer in the first from Ketel Marte as well. So 6-2, Arizona on top of San Francisco. Yankees and Mariners still scoreless as they have gotten underway too. Last night,
Minnesota is up. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Like their second game?
Yeah.
So
second game,
we bet on
Minnesota's
them
already
both
out
games,
ahead.
and they're up 4-1.
They are going for, of course, 10 in a row in the second game. Orioles do have the bases stacked here in the bottom of the third. We'll see if they can do anything with that. Last night, Mariners beat the Yankees 2-1 in 11 innings. They tied the game in the 9th. They lost it in the 11th. Another good performance from Brian Wu. He's the only pitcher in majors this year to go at least 6 innings in every outing. Pretty good for Brian Wu. He pitched well last night, too. Wild game in Detroit last night. Tigers beat the Red Sox 10-9 in 11 innings. How about the night for Javi Baez, who is all of a sudden, after being really awful his entire time in Detroit so far, he has come alive the last couple weeks. Not 1, but 2 3-run homers for Baez last night, including the walk-off on FanDuel Sportsnet.
First one in the air, deep left field, again! Yes, Tigers win! Javi is unstoppable!
Javi Baez getting involved. What is happening?
Speaking of big flies, I just told you the Orioles had the bases loaded in the bottom of the third. They're now unloaded, thanks to Cedric Mullins. That would be a grand slam.
The Grand Slam breakfast.
The Grand Slam breakfast for Cedric Mullins. 5-4 Orioles, bottom 3. And now make it 6-4 Orioles. Kirchstad hits one right after him. Balls are flying out.
What
Can we
is
get
happening?
Gunnar Henderson for another one in that game? So there you go with that. Rays beat Toronto 11-9 last night. They had a 9th inning grand slam from our boy Caminero, who put them ahead. Mets beat the Pirates 2-1 last night. Braves beat the Nats 5-2. The Cubs needed a 9th inning rally to get by the Marlins. Justin Turner on marquee.
Corner the winning run at first. Line drive down the left side. Fair ball. That's head to the corner. Brujan is in. Here comes Nico on his way to the plate. And the Cubs win it. Justin Turner the walk-off.
I've always thought that Turner could hit.
He can. Did you know he is now the oldest active player in Major League Baseball? Justin Turner. I had that note on the game last night. The oldest player in the league.
You wouldn't know it, right? He can still hit.
I guess unless the Royals call up Rich Hill, right? If the Royals ever call up Rich Hill,
Which
who they
they
signed
will.
yesterday, he's 45 years old. I got another walk-off for you last night. How about your boy, Fernando Tatis Jr., Padres TV.
2-2. In the air to deep left center field. It's back. It is gone. Fernando walks it off. Deep into the San Diego night. Padres win it.
This guy announcing Friar games, getting involved as well.
You gotta have it. And the A's beat up the Dodgers 11-1. Jacob Wilson had 2 homers.
22.
This Marte just got another one. Man, that's a bomb. 8-2 Diamondbacks. Jeez. 2-homer game for Ketel Marte. The Marte Parte going on in San Francisco right now.
It just flew right over your head, the plus 222 A's cover last night.
It was a good cover with the A's last night. I love how they hit 5 home runs, and I couldn't get the Butler or Rooker in any of those homers. They hit 5 homers, and neither guy puts one out. The Dodgers put Sasaki on the IL with a right shoulder
Town crier.
The town crier. Clayton Kershaw will return on Saturday against the Angels for the Dodgers. Corbin Carroll last night tied Judge and Schwarber with his 14th homer. The Rangers had to put Corey Seager back on the IL. He had a hamstring injury, just came off. Now he's going back. Guess they should have waited a little longer.
Another hammy sandwich.
still underdogs at home, on the road, and all of these games. It's time for people to start understanding it's a legitimate team that has a chance not only to win the series against Cleveland, but also maybe even go all the way to the NBA Finals.
I think a lot of the focus has been on why the Cavs have not played particularly well. A lot of that is due to injury, of course, but I think that's taking too much credit away from what the Pacers have done.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Jason Tatum underwent surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. That is obviously a season-ending injury, and you know that's long rehab. You're talking
That's a year.
That's a year.
I don't wish that on anybody. I don't. I hate that Achilles, knees and ankles. I don't like talking about them. I've said it a million times. But screw the Celtics.
Ferrall Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Here's the Smiley Show PGA Championship preview.
So we are building a lineup. We have a $50,000 salary, as you do on DraftKings Daily Fantasy, and we're going to go through now. So top of the price list, Scotty Scheffler at $13,400. Rory
How are we going to
McIlroy
do this?
12-2.
Are we going to?
What do we want to do? What do we want to do strategy-wise here?
Can you just tell me who you kind of like right now? Maybe mid tier, low tier, top tier, and then we can just spitball this thing together.
Can we start with this? Like JT at 9,900, given some of the guys ahead of him, feels like a really good price for JT. You want to just my first pick, I'm gonna plug in JT.
I want you to scroll down for me.
Okay, all right. Tell me.
I want you to go find Keith Mitchell.
Keith Mitchell. Okay, hold on. Let me. I got a good stat for you on Keith Mitchell, because
if this thing ends Thursday, Keith Mitchell he has the Wanamaker Trophy in hand. His scoring average in first rounds this year is, I think, 66 or something like that. It's something silly. It's every week he's at the top of the leaderboard. He's in the last groups. That means something. It means something, I'm telling you. And this is a really good golf course for him.
Can I throw you something else at you? I was reading you some stats about lowest scoring average at Quail in the Wells Fargo Championship era. Keith has the fourth lowest scoring average at Quail. That full list, I said Rory was first.
Throw
Xander
Keith
second.
in our lineup.
Jason Day, Keith Mitchell, Max Homa are the five in the field this week who have the best scoring average at Quail. So
Keith can win this week.
Keith's price
I truly believe
$6,200
that Keith can win this week.
I love that pick. All right, so you went with Keith at $6,200. That leaves us an average of $8,475 per player. So that's a nice bit of flexibility.
Do you mind if we can we continue to hop on the Shane Lowry bus?
I would love to.
Are you against that? I know he's not the longest guy, but this dude keeps elevating his game week in and week out. And he's you need a solid dude that is going to be the rock of your lineup.
The only thing I wonder is is $9,200 too much to spend on a Shane Lowry? Do we feel like that's about right for this week? Because I'm just looking at guys around him like Tyrrell's at 9,000.
I mean, I like Shane more than Tyrrell this week.
Yeah,
I like Shane more than all of these guys.
Yeah.
I would say Minwoo is if you liked Minwoo more than Shane.
Well,
I would say
if we spend on him, we're going to have to go down. We're going to have to kind of spend He's Sepp at 8,000, but he's coming off a win. All right, we've done this before. Let's put Shane in now. We have JT, we have Keith Mitchell, we have Shane. We have an average remaining salary of $8,233.
How expensive are Rory and Scotty?
Rory's $12,200.
And Scotty's
$13,400.
Seems like that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Right now, we basically have half of our roster at $24,700.
So it feels like Colin's too short for this week. I mean, no disrespect to Colin, but it feels like it's going to be tough.
Do we want? I mean, it feels like you have to take one of Scotty, Rory, or Bryson.
Bryson at 11.5 kind of feels like. I mean, I would prefer Rory, but that saves you another $700. You want to plug the big man in there? Just give it a shot.
I mean, Bryson or Rory?
Bryson.
Oh,
You want to go Rory? Rory and JT, those are our two guys. Yeah, let's do Rory. Because we have 2 spots left at 6,200. So now let's just go down here and see if there's anyone we like around here before we have to change it up.
Okay, can I do a little scrolling here?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Lucas Glover's got good history here, but I don't think he had a great week last week.
South Carolina guy.
Lucas is a player that I like so far.
JT Postal's a North Carolina guy. Oh, what about David Puig? Come on.
Can you look up some history with Puig? He hits it far enough.
What history?
Like I don't know. Is he playing good on
to live? Apparently so. If he got a special invite to the PGA, let's go David Puig. I want to be on record. I have a feeling about David Puig this week, and he has a 7:11 a.m. tee time on Thursday, and Jackson does not know it yet. But I'm going to wake him up at 5:45 a.m. so we can get to the golf course and watch David Puig play golf on Thursday.
Man, this is tough. All right, so throw him. What about
let's throw the Puig man in there?
Novak could be sneak.
Oh, I like Novak too.
That's sneak.
See, but now we're like so Lucas. All right, okay, let's look at that lineup. So we have Lucas Glover, Shane Lowry, Rory McIlroy, Keith Mitchell, Andrew Novak, Justin Thomas. Well, that's kind of a good lineup. We like that?
Dude, I think you locked that in.
All right, let's lock that.
I mean to tell you, the gambling going on this network and on this PGA Championship is just out of control. With your boy Smiley and Charlie.
We're ready. PGA Championship. Let's go.
New to social casinos? You're in for a treat. Most online casinos offer bonus cash or coins just for signing up. That's your own little participation trophy. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of 15.5 points live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Dr. Dre said at one time here, James Wood, always up to no good, man. I like a couple players in that lineup, and on a day-to-day basis can really get after it. Again, playing good baseball, 15 and 19 overall. We'll see how they pursue.
The Reds. Reds are a really fun team. Reds are, we're going to talk about them a ton, and I don't think they'll compete for a wild card. But again, they're a team like the Nats where they're going to give other teams trouble at times, and they can't overlook that matchup. Cubs win the division, as we all expected.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star trio is, they can make the guys around them better, and they can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.